You are connected as the host. Welcome, host. You are now in the host room and can manage your callers from the Call-in Studio web interface.
Mic check, mic check. How you doing, everybody? Welcome. Fridays here. A pleasure to have you here. I'm the American Anchor Baby. So welcome to the stream. We're welcoming all of our folks here. Mic check, mic check. Right on. So what can I say? A pleasure to have you here. Kicking it back right after that Fallen State episode. Great epi. Great episode. Great stuff there. Lauren Salon. That was great. Captivating. She's a nice lady. She's a nice lady, but she's trying to fix people. And the woman advice, that weak advice, is just not good enough. But she's a nice lady. Okay? You can have your podcast. I want my interests, says the wife, but I should still have my interests in my own life and my own things, like my little hobbies. Let me and my podcast. Look, what's a podcast about? What? Like a cooking, like you're doing a cooking podcast. It's just funny. It's just cool. Maybe. Maybe. Would you give it all up for the family? Those were all great questions from Jesse. We're just coming off, right? Hot off the presses with the Fallen State. Great stuff. See, like, be very clear. Be very clear with the person you're dating, right? After talking a bit with Jesse, it's like, well, I mean, would you give it all up for a family, right? Your career, all this stuff. She said, yeah, eventually, right? After all that, right? It's like, would you obey the husband, etc.? Yeah, okay. She's like, you have to be very clear on what kind of relationship you want. I don't know. I'm starting to think that's just worldly nonsense. Either you're like brought together under God, like it's the man and the woman in the right order or not. Be very clear on the kind of relationship. Sounds to me like I can have my cake and eat it too. Let's have our own weird. Let's mess with the controls here. Let's mess with the knobs and have our own little marriage. You know. And so it's like the real image of men and women today is people looking at descriptions of an ancient institution, and they both have no idea. There's a little bit more, and the women have gone crazy with their ego and told it's been this other thing, the upside down world. It's all men's fault. She's a nice lady. I just saw how like her advice was to. It was really never her fault. It was really never just you, and that's why. I think that's why one part of why we love Jesse. I mean, that tough, no nonsense. It's like, it's all you, man. It's always you. So, great stuff. And look, ladies, you're not. The guys aren't. I don't think the guys are marrying you because of your career. I don't think that's what's happening. There's been some talk about it too, online. Men do not care about your career, ladies. They will date a waitress at Applebee's over a corporate executive if they treat them right. Quickly, the statistics are coming in. You know, when you're highly educated, you make money, you end up marrying other women who are like similar status. But those people have problems too. They're miserable. Again, do you want to be like the world? She's got her own thing. That's why I love her. I don't think even these high status, so-called high status men who are, you know, they're just marrying what they're used to, what's around them. Okay. I don't think they're marrying them because of their career. Okay. Even these statistics, the ladies are coming quick to talk mess about on Jebediah Bila, whoever this is, a lady who dared to say women, ladies, okay, they don't care about men, don't care about your career, ladies. Like that's not like in the first, second, third, I don't know where in the top anything. Not very high up for men. I got time today, cuz. What's up, Big Bump? How you doing, sir? Nice to see you in the chat. Happy Friday. We got calls coming in, by the way. 844-900-2229. We're going to show love to the calls. We're also taking it real easy today because we're kind of just prepping for tomorrow. We're going to be filming. I don't think I'm going to be live. You know, like I've shown you before, my setup. I basically have a pretty cool setup that lets me Frankenstein together many networks, but even with that, we've had major issues in large crowds. You know, it's worth testing more with maybe more networks. So I don't know if I'll be live tomorrow, but they're calling it a No Kings protest. They're going to be protesting. They're saying it's tomorrow. It's around here. And maybe we can get some footage. We'll see, okay? So we're doing a little bit of prep before that. We're going to just kind of go through some possible just things that I should know, maybe some news and stuff, and about what's going to be happening tomorrow. So we'll do that together and show love to the calls and super chats and all that as we go along here. Okay, we got a number of random things too to keep it interesting, keep it cool. But you know what? I got to show love to the calls here on a fine Friday, just chilling on a Friday here. And I think I got a Gary out of New Hampshire on the line with us. How you doing, Gary? Is it Gary?
Garrett.
Garrett
No,
on the line.
Garrett,
man, thank you for your call. You're on the air.
Hey, I know we talked about a week and a half ago about the paradox of curiosity, and I found it, or well, I guess I didn't find it. It was shown to me, so I got a little answer for that, and I'd like to hear your response.
I do remember our call a little bit. I mean, it was if I remember, you were given maybe a little bit of advice, and we arrived to an interesting conundrum of I think essentially curiosity and creativity. You know, you gotta for the people that are warned. I mean, I'll summarize for my viewers here, if you allow me. For those that are warned of things warned, to essentially summarize. You know, curiosity killed the cat, but how are you? But the cat, the curious cat can't help but do what they're gonna do to learn that lesson. So, anyways, just a little reminder, Garrett. Thanks for your call back, man. What were you think? What, you smoked on it, I gather. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. So I ended up watching you and all the other host shows as the week has gone on, and I ended up watching a couple of the Fallen State episodes, and I felt so stupid because it was right in front of my face, and I kind of giggled when I saw the answer. So, bringing it back to Genesis, what was the tree that Adam and Eve ate off of?
The tree of knowledge of good and evil, I think, if my memory serves me
Yes.
right.
Yes. And then, so the tree of knowledge and evil, and then taking it even as far as to when Jesus came to the earth, I think it was Matthew 30 or 33. They were questioning and saying, what should we take? And he said, seek first the kingdom of God, and all things will be added to you. So I think that's the answer to the paradox of curiosity. If you seek first the kingdom of light, all things will be added to you. So you don't have to worry about that general curiosity. You just let it happen and let God shine the light on the things that you need to know at that moment.
I like that, man. I like the almost like, I want to call it back to basics Christianity here. That, I mean, many grew up with, but it's a thing that's kind of, it's definitely fading. I mean, just look at me and younger generations. I don't know if I ever thought about this in this way. So, yeah, I mean, it's almost comforting, in a sense. And I think that would maybe irk non-Christians. It's like, just so don't plan ahead. What do you mean? So don't plan ahead. Don't think ahead. Just let it be. Is that kind of in that direction?
Yeah, no, it kind of makes sense, at least to me, as I've seen it right now. The idea behind the dangers of curiosity and going and seeing things that will be evil to your mind and things that will intrude and get into your head and make you damaged rather than just trusting God and letting those things go and trusting Him to impart His wisdom unto your mind. So as you're seeing those thoughts and letting them go to Him and Him imparting His wisdom onto you, you don't have to have that fear of the curiosity. But when you, I think we talked about judgmental curiosity, or maybe I talked to Hake about that, but having that judgmental status on that curiosity is what causes those evil thoughts and other things that come into your mind. So I ended up seeing 6:33 Matthew and seeing seek first the kingdom of God and then let all things be added onto you. And it just kind of struck me.
Of course.
I was overwhelmed by not having it be something that I was thinking about or going on into the thoughts about. It just sort of made sense, I guess you could say.
I see, man. Right on. Yeah, that is, I think, a good answer to that. Can you give me an example of you said these like evil, how this evil could appear in your mind and harm you? What you mean?
So I could give one example. So about a year, maybe 2 years ago, I started working with a different coworker, and I had already, stopped smoking pot at that point, and I'd been months away from it, and things were going good, things were going great. I was more aware, more present, and he said, I just have to see this one time. I just got to see what you're like high one time. And I caved, and I was like, okay. And then one day turned into 2 days a week, 2 days turned into 5 days a week, 5 days turned into back to the old habits. And it was more of a pleasure of watching him laugh at me kind of deal. And through that, I was thinking more about people liking me and stuff like that, and understanding him and his thoughts, where I thought I could understand where he was coming from and what he might have thought would come out of the process of me, engaging in that action with him. And eventually it hit a point where I realized this is exactly the things that I want to walk away from. And I walked away from them again. And
Right.
it after I walked away from them again, he really, really didn't like me. It was absolutely crazy, the twist and turn that happened. He used to laugh with me and everything, and joke around with me, beat around the bush. And then after I told him, like, hey, no, I gotta stop doing these things because they're not good for me. I don't enjoy these things anymore, and I don't want to enjoy these things because it's such a thrill and it's not good for me. And he flipped. It was like a switch flipped. He went from being like one of my favorite coworkers to an absolute jerk. I'll say jerk.
You're a jerk. That is such a good example of like how evil is operates in people. That is such a good example.
Yeah.
It was like a series of thoughts. The steps were in the mind. And the healing was like in the change of the mind, in the realization of, whoa, what am I doing here? That's so interesting, man. I think I understand you now.
I think it makes sense to the idea of the tree of knowledge being where Adam and Eve questioned God and taking the fruit. I ended up making that same decision where, I wanted to be liked. I wanted to have that thought for myself or something along those lines. And as I wanted to be accepted in that scenario, it ended up feeling good for the moment and only brought chaos upon everything else that I was trying to work towards. And when I let go of that, trying to let go of those things, everything started getting a lot easier, even though my life is a lot different. And, I have definitely a lot of things that are over the horizon that I'm looking at that seem hard. I feel protected, and I feel a lot more calm, a lot more collected in knowing that I don't have to do those things. I don't have to be around those things to have that peace.
Yeah, man. I
Even
understand
though
that.
they're out of my life now.
That's so interesting how that took you down a path where all these other things were happening. Now you're anxious. Now you're like, right, you're just like in this other mode, a mode that you were kind of familiar with before, of thinking about how people feel, how what they think about you. And, it was all related. It was all actually from the same inner conflict. And if you had not seen it like that, you could totally see how people go down that path, and they're like, they beat themselves up. They're like, I'm not fixed or whatever. But you just get right back to it. You're like, okay, I see the lie, I believe. Let me just drop that. There's nothing else I got to do.
Yeah, and I think evidence speaks for itself. I mean, you can even hear as I've gone in and called you and the other hosts and whatnot. I mean, I still have a little bit of a anxiety in my voice or anything else like that, but it's dropped off really, really a lot as as I've called into you guys, because when I'm talking to you guys, obviously, like, the thoughts get to you, the anxiety gets to you, and I know Jesse says to work through those things and see those things, but don't interact with them. And I can't say that I feel more confident in speaking on the phone with you guys. I can just say that I feel more peace and don't associate with those thoughts anymore while talking with you guys. But I know that I was talking with you about that paradoxical thinking, and it was something that was extraordinarily confusing. And now, as I talk to you, like, I can see that the anxiety is hitting up the parts of my body, but I'm not feeling anything, that chest tightness, that anxiety. I just know that it's there. It's just sort of, it is what it is, but I'm not that.
Deep, man. Life's a spiritual
If that makes
battle.
sense.
It really is.
Yeah, no. Separating those things is absolutely amazing.
It's a spiritual battle, man. That is at the core of what's going on with us. And if we're in pain, it's because it's inside of us. And it's a spiritual battle.
Yes.
Like our anxiety, it's because I'm smoking pot again, or it's because it's you. Darkness has made a home in you, and there's a way out.
Yep.
Man, that's great, Garrett. I love to hear it. What did you said you were listening to the shows and stuff? What made you think of what were you listening to that made you? Well, I guess you said you came across the verse, and that kind of let you see it clearly.
So what made me come across a verse was I've been listening to y'all shows, not religiously. Sometimes I'm live and sometimes it's just in the background. But I ended up listening to your shows, you, Nick, Hake, and JLP's shows. And then I ended up watching a couple of the Fallen State episodes, and I heard what he was asking to the people, and they seemed like they were beating around the bush of the question, like they were afraid to answer the question. And I had a little bit of consideration for the topic that I was talking with Hake about, me talking to my black friend and treating them like just another person. And it ended up being sort of a realization when I saw Jesse asking those people those questions, and I saw myself in that moment when he was asking people those questions, and it was so hard. And then I also saw myself when I was talking with Hake and being able to just say those things without thought. And I saw in those two moments that it was two different people, I guess you could say, answering those questions. And then as I remembered Jesse saying, "Come back to the Father and all things will be given to you," I remembered the scripture from Matthew. And I'm not a Bible thumper. I haven't even read the entire thing in its entirety. I just have a couple different things that people have like preached upon me, and a couple different things that I've read. But that part struck me really, really hard. And it's not even talking about having thoughts directly, but Matthew 30:33 is them going out into the wilderness and not taking anything and seeking the kingdom of God first, and all things shall be provided to you. So it's talking about the physical needs that you're going to need. You're going to need water. You're going to need food. And even though it's not directly talking about those things, it still struck me in the idea that it can be related to the idea when you go into your mind and go into wanting to know certain things, that you don't need anything other than him, because he will provide all things. I don't know, like, if that makes sense, but
no, I gotcha.
That's the way. Yeah.
Right on, Garrett. Well, right on, man. I appreciate this call. Anything else you want to say here before we move the wheels?
No, other than just, I appreciate you guys giving me the chance to ramble and everything. You guys give me
Yeah,
plenty of
chill.
airtime.
Right on, man.
God bless your shows, and I'll say it once again. I know I said it on Hank's show, but keep up on Punchy TV.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of the best shows on this side of heaven.
That was a great endorsement, man. Right on, Garrett. We're going to keep it up, make it better. Awesome.
Excellent. Thank you, Nick.
Take care, sir. 844-900-2229. 844-900-2229. Great stuff. So they got these No King stuff. It's going on. Look, they got this map. They got a website. You search up nokings.org. So, and they got a website here. They got this big old map. Is that Hawaii? What is that? They got No Kings protests all the way out here? Hawaii. Hawaii? How do you say that for realsies? Hawaii. Welcome to Hawaii. The American state, Hawaii. No kings, Hilo. No kings. We say no dictators, Waimea. No kings, Kona. What are they? They got this. Come on. Are you guys like being a little extra? It's like, let's just put dots everywhere. Oh, they got No Kings protests in Mexico? What is this? What is this? This is a joke. No Kings, San Miguel. Mexico? Get out of here. This is some communist stuff. This is some globalist. No king. So, the funny thing, obviously one of the first little like trolls / points of discussion. Y'all are calling him a king by saying no kings. Right? Classic. Jesse kind of hit it hard with that one. We're going to take that, flip it and reverse it. Okay. Or chop it up. Okay. Use it. Will Jesse be out there tomorrow? I don't know. I have not asked him. I personally don't want. I just don't. Look, I was thinking about it in many ways. If we went to some protest with Jesse, I'd rather it be like we were outside of the crowd, like far away from the crowd and trying to get people coming in and out type thing. Not live. He's recognizable. Like people are crazy out there. But I'm looking at the map here. There's no Kings rally. There's no King stuff. And look, they got one in my hood. We might not have to go to the big crazy one. Maybe Jesse's down to do some filming. I mean, it's not a secret. I think I could say this is literally the corner of Bond. Okay, Bond is right here. This is Bond. That's Bond. And so they're saying they're going to be right here. We don't have to go anywhere. Hey, Jesse, you don't have to go far. This is a good idea, people. So definitely one of the first trolls, one of the first points. It's like, okay, no reyes. Okay, get out of here, Mexico. Okay, get your own country. So they're all called. Y'all better no, don't even speak such things, Francisco. And because if we were, you wouldn't even know. Right? You feel me? Okay. They're like, oh, I don't want no trouble. But I realize, me going like this, like I'm pulling up my shirt, showing off a little bit of hunk of metal. It's like, actually, you don't even want to do that. That's crazy. What's up, Carol? Nice to see you in the chat. A new name I haven't seen. Are you saying, will I be streaming here tomorrow? I don't know if I'll be doing it live. Okay, we just want to kind of go out there and film, talk to the people. But the live stuff is it's technically difficult with large amounts, with large crowds. I think even with network bonding and the snazzy stuff I got going on, I can't get it going. Like in America, we don't put up with would-be kings. Oh, okay, that's cute. You're saying would-be kings. We're gonna ignore that. Okay, we're gonna ignore would-be kings. They've just been listening to Jesse and they're like, oh, he got us. Okay, they've been getting us with that one. We are calling him a king. We got to call him no would-be kings. No would-be kings. Oh, but that's not as punchy. Our peaceful movement is only getting bigger and stronger. No Kings is more than just a slogan. It's the foundation our nation was built upon. Born in the streets, carried by millions and chants on posters and blah, blah, blah. So that's the first kind of troll point, like no kings. You guys are calling him a king. But the real answer to that, in my opinion, the real answer to no king is Trump's presidency. Okay? As a mandate. The Trump years, these 10 years of Trump and this mess and the back and forth. Seriously, if you look at it seriously, it's been what? It's been a decade of exactly what they're saying, of what they're saying it's not. Democracy, blah, blah, blah. It's been 10 years of the people putting forth their mandate with Trump, saying we support him on the up and up in a way, right? So grassroots, maybe a little off here and there, that the establishment hated it, okay? And they came down, starting all the way with Obama, the spying, to all the way to 2020, and, it's been a decade of exactly of the people voting a person, democracy, right? In a true mandate, a true what's the word I'm looking for? A true a legitimate mandate. Because look at how it went all the way to the courts. It went to them trying to indict him and put him in jail, and it's been a just decades of even so many of the people, now not the true haters, they stay like that, but people on the fence, people just been watching these years and maybe initially even protested hey, I'm with my Chicanos. They've even come around to somewhat all right, let's be cool, let's be chill. It's been a decade, understand? So that's the real answer to that. No kings and all that. It's it's been a decade actually of the mandate of the people, and y'all hate that. You communists, you hate that. Okay, we could be amicable. Remember to remind me in the chat. Nick, be amicable. Be amicable. I can do it. It's for fun. I'm really having fun. I'm not mad. But thrills and fun, going talking fast and seeing them not answer is thrills. It's not okay. But I don't know if it'll be live, so we'll have Derek remind us. The president thinks his rule is absolute. Again, refer to the previous minute or so. But in America, we don't have kings. We won't back down against chaos, corruption, and cruelty. Grow our movement and join us. So, hey, check it out. So that's we'll save that. No King's Pico. We're kind of getting prepared for tomorrow. What's one of the questions I'd like to ask? It's not a troll, but one that's right? It's why are you being so offensive or crazy or saying such extreme things? But there's a truth to what I'm saying. Here's what I'm getting at. Do you believe the entire world should be able to just come here, right? Now, is that now just internally here in preparing for this? Is that actually happening? How true is that? How viscerally true is that statement, and to what degree? I mean, we know that we got catch and release, right? This is maybe even before Trump, because Trump has been dealing with that. But you basically have catch and release. How is that not just an invitation to the entire world? If you get here, you can say home base. Oh, catch and release. Okay, make sure you come here on this date, but you don't. And then now you're in America living, getting driver's licenses, getting welfare, getting all sorts of stuff. So I think we can kind of say maybe that. What would I even search up to really make that stick? If I were to ask somebody, do you believe the entire world should be able to come? I'm pretty happy with what I just said. I think that's pretty darn good. I mean, how can you deny that? You could just come here and be here illegally, and they'll fight for you. They'll Congress, and they'll say, okay, you got to give them DACA. Another thing that comes up a lot is, oh, but these people have been here forever. These people have been just workers for decades. And I think a really sober, realistic response to that kind of conversation, is the history of that, essentially. Besides DACA, what about the countless calls over the years of Republicans? Let's be real. going like, okay, we got to deal with this, but let's give him amnesty. It's been amnesty for years. It's been, and then the big one with Reagan we all hear about. I wasn't there, and he was like, okay, we're gonna do a big amnesty, but you guys are gonna fix the border, right, Democrats? I heard that's not how it went down. It was a big hoodwink. They never fixed the border, but they did the amnesty and all that. And then it was DACA with Obama. It was like, it's been decades of, hey, okay, let's just leave the ones that are already here. It's a broken system. They're already here. They're just workers. They just want to be families. How many more decades of that? Like, did you just wake up? Did you just hear this argument yesterday? So I think that's the like a temporal response of history of like where we are and do you care about the people here, and let's be realistic and pragmatic about that, is the right response to that. I mean, oh, but these people have been here. These people have been here. That's I've heard that one. Okay, what about really fixing things? And look around you. Look how many people support Trump. They want that. Okay, you see this thing in the UK. 95% of people. It was some show but it was some like liberal daytime show, and people are like on a discussion of immigration. 95% were like multiculturalism has failed. Hey, unsaid things, right? You know what I'm saying? So Pico Robertson, that's interesting. We'll see. They got all sorts of locations. I'll be up early. We'll see what happens tomorrow. What's up, Kings? Kings in the chat. Kings in... What's up, rumble.com/American Anchor Baby. Sorry if I did not welcome y'all. My lovely folks on punchy.tv/Anchor Baby. My callers on 844-900-2229. This is what I forgot to do with y'all. You see this chaos? You see this insanity? They got this whole country dotted up with communist rallies, communist protests, anti-American, we hate America protests. And you want to tell me you came in here and you didn't click the like button? You're going to just walk in here with that lack of decorum? Like just so little decorum? And then we're not going to notice? Dude, it's crazy. You just coming in here like no shoes, like pass me the aux cord, let me play my music. Hey, make me a plate. It's somebody's wife. You're talking to somebody's wife. You came here with no wife. You came here not wifed up, and you're asking somebody's woman, "Hey, make me a plate." What are you like? You're like one step away from like homeless. So you have two choices. Do you want to be part of the problem, or do you want to like the stream? Do you want to be part of the problem, the end of America, or do you want to like the stream? Two choices. Thank you. Appreciate it. Don't be rude. Mic check. We got California on the air. How you doing? Who are we speaking with?
It's William, man. Hey, it was kind of choppy today when I called James. I want to make sure you can hear me okay.
Loud and clear. Thank you, William.
Yeah, welcome. Maybe it was just a bad circuit. I don't know what happened. But, I had to, speaking of what you're talking about, I had to torch Hake's ass today because I might have
heard a tiny bit of that. What was that?
It was hard to understand me. Well, I'm going to say this. I don't say, because that's liberal thinking. I don't sit up there and say, well, they've been here already for a long time. We might as well let them. I don't say that. Either you ain't supposed to be here or you supposed to be here. That's it. Mm-hmm. I stands on business, man. I'm telling you. I don't like all them two answers. No.
That's just true, man.
I mean,
it's a matter of let's ask the decent people who support this. They've stopped caring about that. They're saying, okay, look, it's too far. You shouldn't be here. You shouldn't be here.
It is too far. He sat there earlier this week and he talked to somebody in Chicago that is obviously an illegal, saying, well, I don't like the way there's some of the people, I'm related to them. I don't give a damn. You get out and them. Well, who's going to cook your breakfast burrito? You can take your breakfast burrito up there. It was what's his name? What was his name? Gunner or whatever it is. You take your breakfast burrito and take it up to Canada. We don't want it. And see, everybody likes to say those are jobs that blacks won't take. Those are jobs that blacks will take. They don't have to. They're all getting kicked off of Section 8. They got to go back to work.
I love that. It'll work itself out. Just do the right thing. Let them. The companies will start having to pay them more if the illegals, etc.
Yeah.
They will do the jobs.
I had to work all my life, Nick, and I retired early. The reason why I retired early. Now, how about this standing on business? Have you ever heard the unions are not all that? I was a salary man because that's how I got my time done fast. Salary, and I retired early. Now I enjoy my life. And about what me and you was talking about today, since it's Black Friday, why are all the black people still to this day begging? Why? What do you guys want? Because remember, I asked you, do you think which one sounds more reasonable? Do you think I'm going to give up my wealth to a bunch of Negroes?
Yeah. That's like a funny thing to bring up. And you wouldn't. You wouldn't. You would not. And which man who worked to gather what he's gathered in life would want to? It's funny you're bringing up that only losers want to do that.
I meant to say that because we got on the subject about the Black Panthers free breakfast in 1965. That made me 5. Do you know who went to those breakfasts, Nick?
Well, tell me.
Losers and poor people.
Yeah.
My mother and father wouldn't have in my dumb ass nobody's in the breakfast kitchen. You don't know what the hell these people are serving your child.
I hear you, William. You got to work.
Why, in 2025, why would you be sitting up there? That's you, Maze. Well, why would you sit up there and moan and groan about free breakfast in 1965? You're always begging for stuff.
You know what's particularly interesting about what you bring up, and I don't know if I'm talking over you because you just broke up for a second there.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
What's particularly interesting is that's what gets left out about this conversation of reparations and all that. It's like, I'm not saying it gets lost on those that it would be anybody. It was not just blacks who would just get a bunch of money. It would affect, you would have to take it from those that have, and that would include blacks. That would include anybody who has accumulated anything, right? And that's how that would work.
Yeah.
That's how that would work. It would be a destruction of society. It's not, it would actually be transracial in that sense, and they would be like fitting their own ideology in that sense, right? Going beyond race and just destroying it all. But it's crazy.
I mean, I just seen somebody in the chat. William loves his money. You damn right I love my money. Don't you like yours, Nick?
Well, I mean, I think it's fine to have money. It's
money.
fine to work for
it. My money.
I love it.
Money.
I don't know about loving it. Well,
It's
love
mine.
is fair. Look how you're saying it with that energy.
It's mine.
It's mine.
You know what I'm saying? No, Nick. It might not sound too good to liberal.
I understand.
but
No,
it's
hey,
mine.
I'm with you. It's just now we're painting a different picture, right? Now it's
And
like we got a different picture of hoarding a bunch of money that has its own spiritual ills.
This is what they do. They love counting somebody else's money. I've been taught since a little child. You don't count other people's money.
Yeah.
Granddaddy, can I have a dime? What are you going to do with a dime? Get some mini candies. How do you know I have a dime? You do have a dime. How do you know? That make you get quiet too. Think about it. How do you know he has a dime?
These are such like basic ideals, manly basic ideals. You got to bring it back to this.
Man. Bring it back, man. We were talking about school teachers. I'm a fabricator. That would be welding, electronics. That would be race cars, that kind of stuff. Putting things together, basically, things that I pretty much think you could probably do, and some of the people in the chat too. It's not that complicated. It's just a matter of using your brain more than a hat rack.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And when I got out of college, I was trying to explain to James. I got offered a teacher's job, but you know what, man? In the early 80s, that was not a popular job. And a lot of the teachers were welders, accountants, history buffs, a lot of the teachers had other things to bring to the table besides just the teaching credential title. You know, and do you know we didn't fool around with
That's
those teachers
interesting.
back then? We didn't fool with those teachers. I know I didn't fool with none of them. I'm going to tell you why I didn't fool with them. My mother and father paid way too much money for my education from kindergarten through college. They paid too much money for me to go to school and act silly.
Interesting. You know, I think this has come up before. I could think of one or two male teachers. Think about that. In all my years of high school and even kindergarten. No, not kindergarten. Sorry, elementary, middle school. I think I had two male teachers. And one was totally weak. One was pretty tough. But he was old, and I guess leg was all broken.
I'm a little older than you, so there was probably a few more than when I was growing up than you.
Mm-hmm.
But the ones that were male teachers to me when I was growing up, Nick, those were the best damn teachers I ever had in my life. Some of them were so good, I had to go back after I graduated and thank them. Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you for what? Thank you for making me not be a little silly punk in your class.
I heard about that growing up, like going to thank your teachers.
Yeah, no. My father and mother is not going to play. They were not going to play with me, especially if they're paying tuition for me to go to school. That's just not going to happen. Now, if you go to school with taxpayer money and you want to act stupid, you probably can get away with it more. When your parents pay for it, there's kind of no excuse.
Yeah, man, different way. You're speaking on your parents. That's an interesting thing, too, to bring in. I mean, look, call it privilege, privilege of being raised right.
Yeah. It's not about worshiping money. That's those people's money. I'm talking about my parents. That's their money, Nick.
Fair enough, man. That's right, William.
Can you imagine my father? Can you imagine my father looking at me when it comes to his money? Yeah, I wouldn't.
I wouldn't know, but it sounds like it wouldn't be. Yeah.
No, wait a minute. I wasn't able to tell my father, "Oh, I don't want to grow up and draw." Draw what? Draw what? What's the GDP on your drawing, William? How does that
So
pay?
he wouldn't have let you become an artist.
No.
Dad, I want to be an artiste.
Hell no. Hell no.
He wouldn't support you?
As a matter of fact, I never got into the trade.
You don't support me, Dad.
He was in, but guess what? I never was in the trade. He was a carpenter. Him and his father, They were good. They were contractors. I didn't get into the trades, but you can guarantee when William was a kid, he was with who?
With your dad.
That's right. Now, I heard James talking to somebody about, well, we're illegals, but they don't have a country to go to. You ain't got one here either. Well, who's going to fix your garbage disposal? But see, here's how hanging with your daddy means something.
Ron,
you don't need nobody to fix your garbage disposal. Wait a minute, you don't need nobody to fix your garbage disposal. You know why? All you got to do is reach under the sink and hit the reset button. Now, who you think you're going to learn that from? Your mama or your daddy?
That's right, your dad.
Yeah, okay. So which one sounds more regular that's going to happen? You going to get these reparations that Gavin Newsom is promising you that he can't give you? Which one sounds like it make more sense? Am I giving my wealth up or whatever I have? You think I'm giving what I work for? You think I'm going to give to somebody I don't even know?
You seen that thing with us? Oh, my bad. Go ahead. Because of the slave, right? No, hell no.
Because they was a slave. Wait a minute. Because they was a slave. This is why the blacks would be pondering this crap. You're full of it. Because they started the desegregation in 1954. They got finished with it in 64. So if
that's
you
right.
ain't around,
it's over.
Yeah, but you keep getting these calls from a certain person talking about reparations and what they owe the black people. They don't owe you nothing. Did you
so vicious.
Nothing.
The Steven Crowder thing, you seen that?
It's vicious.
You know those people wanting reparations years later from these people that didn't do anything. So vicious. And if
how
you saw
you gonna get some reparations for something that you didn't even? First of all, not even slavery, you didn't even live through segregation.
Tell him. Yeah, that's like fantasy. It's the craziest thing. And
do you think? Wait a minute. I'm an older guy now.
Yeah.
Do you really think I know something about Jim Crow law at my young age? Nick, I'm too damn young.
that's right. It's really been time. It's been time.
I'm too young.
It's been time. It's been
Nick,
plenty time.
I'm too young. The
We
breakfast
heard
program
that.
they bitching about. That breakfast program was in San Francisco in 1965 with the Black Panther Party. What happened to them? Because I asked James today, I said, what is this depiction you have of us black people? That we run around with black leather coats and dark sunglasses? And black
What was
power?
that
You think
about?
That's what we are?
I was missing
him
that.
with this dumb little stupid broad on the train. So I
Oh,
asked him.
yeah.
I said,
What did he
So-
say
so
about
he-
her?
so
So what was it? Just real quick. We'll do this fast.
Because
I missed that.
Torque his ass. I had to torque his ass. He goes. I like her. I said, dude, what are you doing?
You don't like
Sniff
her?
up people's ass over. No, wait a minute. You sniffing up people's ass over super chats, bro? Check this out. Nick, Joel, beautiful Rick, beautiful Keith in Illinois, even David in Ocala, and Derek. Do you think us brothers run around and say we like that kind of crap? So he goes,
maybe
He
some.
looks all stupid in the camera. No, I turn around, I turn the corner, look at the TV, he's looking all silly. I said, so what? I tell you what. Let me give you some neighborhoods. And I went down the
I don't
list.
know, I like her
Jordan
look.
Downs. Wait. Jordan Downs, A-Train Gangster Crips, East Coast Crips, Treetop Pyru, Watts, and Compton. Since you like them so much, it's kind of funny for you to say you like somebody that you wouldn't even be around, because James would run back to Jesse's studio. He wouldn't. Why say you like something you wouldn't be around? You scared to be around those times.
Out of just the joy I'm getting from watching this video.
I'm gonna say what's popular. That's a liberal.
No, I think we just like watching this video, and it invokes
No,
stuff,
he
and
got
invokes
this thing.
thrill. At least
Yeah,
in me, invokes thrills in me. And I think she's dressed kind of nicely. I wouldn't say she's like a
She's
Compton
bald. She ain't got no hair.
lady. Maybe, but she's dealt with it in a nice way. I think. Maybe.
You know what I told him? And I said, let me say something to you, because the brothers don't talk that kind of mess.
Hey, I'm learning.
So I said, check this out, man. Check this
I'm
out
learning.
on game. Why would you say you like something that the brothers won't even say they like it?
I didn't know the brothers didn't like it.
You to say that? No, I put him on the spot. I said, why do you? I like her. I said, why? Couldn't give me a straight answer. I said, but you can't give me a straight answer. But you ain't gonna go down to Jordan Downs projects right now. Since you like them, there's plenty of them running around. All them Section 8 horse sluts. Go on over there and tell them you like them. Go on over there and tell them you like them.
I bet you we'd
He'll
have
run.
a great coffee date.
Yeah, right. They would chase James' tail out of the neighborhood. So don't get safe and what DJ Quick? What did he say? Safe and sound. Don't get safe and sound. Don't get safe and sound. If you like them, like them all the way, and take your tail on over there to Jordan Downs and go talk to them ratchet or
Hey,
sluts. Go ahead and
Look,
do
I don't let anybody get behind me.
it.
I don't let anybody walk behind me. Straight up.
And I'm gonna tell you something. In those areas I just mentioned, who's gonna be more than likely to knock you upside the head and take all your money out your pocket?
The black people.
Her and her boyfriend. They don't set you up.
This is a classier lady that just had a moment of déclassé. Or am I being too kind? William, I'm messing around. William, just a mere moment of déclassé, okay? Sir,
Yeah.
anything else you want to speak on before we move the wheels?
Quit begging, blacks. Ain't nobody
Yeah,
giving you nothing. You weren't slaves in segregation. And if one of them call and say that they were, do the math. Wait a minute. Desegregation started in 54 and it got finished in 64.
Big
I didn't know
time.
there were slaves in America. I didn't know there was any slaves in America then.
It's time. It's time to overcome. Imagine that. It's at their hands because it's at the hands of anybody. It's inside of anybody. The heaven is at hand, blacks. Isn't that amazing?
There was a clip with Jesse, and I know he was black. Jesse said, "Young lady, how old are you?" Well, they just didn't give us a chance. They took everything we had. They didn't take nothing. We told you this.
They have a life in America.
They have land. We're talking about land. What you talking about land? I own land in 2 different states right now. Blacks ain't deprived of nothing, bro. Nothing.
It's evil.
And Jesse was confused. No, come on. Now, Jesse is not that much older than me. And he's sitting there looking to a 26-year-old. Racist people took everything from us.
We're losing you there, William.
Jesse told Jesse that the white people took everything from the blacks. Jesse sitting there at his age with a 26-year-old on the phone like,
Right.
when did this happen? When did this happen?
Deep. Great image.
We were raped. We were raped. Jesse, wait a minute, you were raped? When were you raped? In Africa, you was raped? No, I'm just saying my people in Black Power. Black
It does
Power
not
ain't
make
never
sense.
paid.
Anger makes you so crazy and stupid.
Tell me what Black Power has paid black people.
No. It's made it worse.
No. Tell me a GDP figure that paid black people. Because they're not getting it from William. So where did they get paid?
They're going to have to if it were to go down that way. But I just doubt it, too. As the years go on, I don't see anybody really serious about that. Black leaders, Democrats. It really is like a pipe dream, in my opinion, that they've just been waving and waving. It's not happening. I really don't think so.
It is a pipe dream. Granddaddy, can I have a dime?
I don't
How
really
do you
see
know I have
any.
a dime?
Yeah. But-
How do you know I have a dime, William? You do. He said, how do you know?
But the redistribution of wealth and all that is an ongoing thing for those who have-nots and all that. So, but William, man, I gotta go here, sir. We spent plenty of time on this. Will, can you call me again?
Have you some good weekend time and everything? Play
Yes,
some
sir.
music. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Big, thank you, sir.
All right.
A dog on me is okay. Is it? Obviously, it's just the accent, so it's like an easy one, low-hanging fruit. But I'm really thinking she does have a particular Jamal Bowman-ness to her. Okay, and I don't think it's just me.
So what brought you out to vote?
Vitaly joined.
She has, she has a Bowman-esque way of speaking. Okay.
What's up, man?
Hey,
How you doing?
Thanks for coming over.
No, of course, man.
It's probably just a New York thing.
My pleasure.
Like I said, when I saw that you were also in Cannon,
Yeah.
I got excited. I'm like, okay, we got to do something with Chip. Because since I got here, you were always one of my favorite Republicans.
Well, it's probably a low bar, right?
Did you know if you dove into if you had a pile of gold coins and you dove into it like that show, like what was that show, like the Ducks? If you dove into a pile of coins like that, you would like break your bones. Okay, that's pure metal. You're not swimming through that. You know what I mean? Like if there was a huge pile of coins and all your gold, okay, you're like the Ducks. You know the show I'm talking about? And you jump in and you would break break your fingers and
What's up?
so she has a particular
trickle-down.
Bowman-esque way of speaking to me.
Miss Vanilla, you want to record? Come. Yeah, I said it. What the you want to do? What the you're going to do?
So
And then you got a lot of to say. Let me record you too. I'm gonna.
So You ain't got the data.
Where there's some agreement here.
The data.
It's like the carried interest.
When I first got into politics and people would speak that way, I didn't know what they meant. Like liberal versus progressive. Tell me that we have to start this conversation.
Anyways. These people got a little section here, the No Kings website. Conoce tus derechos. Know your rights. Let's click on this. An hour? What are you talking about an hour for? My rights? You gotta educate me for an hour on my rights? Like, what? This is female education, man. Like, a man, it's like you know your rights and your responsibilities. You just know it. You just know these things. They go together, and you just gotta know them. You know, like, it just makes sense. Okay, you know, speaking freely, etc. Look, you want what is an hour? Come on,
Nuestra intérprete.
the ACLU. This is like LCAU, backed. Bienvenida y logística. Oh,
Liz, que estará dándoles instrucciones sobre el servicio de interpretación. Liz, te lo paso a ti.
Gracias, Sheila.
It's a Zoom meeting with the Hispanic ladies, mamas. The same ones that destroyed the home, the same ones that destroyed their homes and destroyed their boys. Let's join a Zoom meeting with the leftover cheese that didn't make any baby. Look, okay, maybe I have more kinship with the younger generation. Look, you're maybe brainwashed. Like, you know, it's not that big. Like, you know, whatever. But you're a feminist. Whatever. You hate society. Let's join a Zoom meeting with those ladies and I have to imagine some older ladies in here, and the older ladies who destroyed the boys, all the Hispanic boys across the world. I think it's that deep. But, you know, looking at the world I grew up in, the families around me, Canada, America, looking across America, them Mexican boys are ladies. They're little emotional girls. What have you done? You know, so we're going to join the Zoom meeting with these people trying to teach us of our rights, which we have to assume they're trying to say that to illegals.
Nuestra intérprete, Liz, que
This is just technical stuff. If you have a technical issue, reach out. Okay. No, I don't have a technical issue. What are you guys going to talk about? What's your big meeting about?
La presentación que tenemos enfrente de ustedes. La sesión de esta noche será mucho más interactiva si se...
Tonight's session will be far more interactive, so I guess there's a question and answer period. Nosotros el pueblo somos el corazón del movimiento. Us, this town, us, the people, are the heart of the movement. People power es el movimiento comunitario. People power is the community movement by the ACLU. We work with volunteers and allies, simpatizantes, basically sympathizers. But you know, it's like you gotta get the spirit right. They obviously mean like if I translated this for an English website, it'd be like volunteers and allies of all corners of the country to defend the liberties and rights and civil rights. Unite with us. That's what that says.
Un poco más de quién es.
But what are these? What are you trying to teach people? What rights do they have? Why are we here? Know your rights. Ponga su prueba sus conocimientos. Let's skip to 2. Who are they trying to educate? What rights? It's somewhat interesting to me. Not too interesting enough to like, well, no, we're going to the protest tomorrow. Let's maintain focus and not get bored. Boredom is unchristian. Steel yourself against all emotional and spiritual attacks, especially when we have, a job tomorrow, so to speak. Right? Okay. How to interact with public agents or public order agents, police. First priority, stay safe and reduce tension. Always remain calm. Avoid quick movements. Never resist physically and obstruct. That's a funny way of putting that. Never resist physically. Just resist, in other ways. That's such a protest or communist thing. Remember how Jesse told us how they taught him when he worked for the unions, they taught him how to protest, how to resist non-physically. You just let your body go limp, and they have to drag you out. Obstructors. It's crazy because, we'll come back to this. We're not getting bored. This is just for y'all. It's crazy because, look, let me show you a crazy video. Let me just show you a crazy video. Don Lemon is not on CNN anymore, right? Look at what he's been up to. Unleashed. Don Lemon Unleashed.
Black people, brown people of all stripes, whether you're an Indian American or a Mexican American or whoever you are, go out in your place where you live and get a gun legally, get a license to carry legally. Because when you have people knocking on your door and taking you away without due process as a citizen, isn't that what the Second Amendment was written for? Go back and read what the Second Amendment says. And perhaps it will knock some sense in the heads of these people who are saying, well, it's all great.
Is this guy is he cringing a bit? Is he like, whoa, cool it with the Fed posting, Don Lemon?
I don't believe they're doing it without due process. They're asking people for papers. They're not really beating people up. These people are doing things that are illegal. Nobody is illegal. It is a misdemeanor to cross the border. Now,
nobody's illegal. So, remember, to summarize, his justification for you going to get a gun, telling these people to go get a gun, just to what? To protect yourself, because they're literally knocking at your door and dragging you out. You know who else gets, guess what happens when police suspect you of a crime and you're in your home? They knock on your door. And what if they arrest you? What if they don't just suspect you? What if they, besides you being maybe like a person of interest, let's say they suspect that you committed a crime. They will knock on your door and drag you out. And that's only if you fight. I mean, you could just come outside like they're asking you to. That's what ICE is doing. He's asking them to arm themselves against ICE, against basically, it's like going on a show and telling, hey, criminals of America, citizens, if you're a criminal, you're out there committing a crime, get a gun, because these police are going to come to your home and to arrest you. Get a gun. What the? Arrest this man. This person's inciting violence.
It will knock some sense in the head without due process as a citizen. Isn't that what the Second Amendment was written for?
That's crazy. No, I think this guy's just nodding his head, actually. Hold on.
And taking you away without due process as a citizen. Isn't that what the Second Amendment was written for? Go back and read what
I think he's going, He's doing the black church, to that. So, not trustworthy, Brown. Not a good look. Okay? Not a good look.
Prioridad más importante es mantenerlos seguros y reducir la tensión. Y es importante saber que si
show your hands. This person's telling the protesters to show their hands. Always show your hands. Which, these are such like nice little rules, but it never is like that. You go out to these things, they're masked up, throwing stuff, fighting with their, they do the opposite of this. So I don't know what Mama here thinks is gonna happen. This is look at Mama. Look at Mama. Hey chicos. Hey chicos, when you're out there, be a good protester. Have you been seeing the videos lately? Lady, wake up. I think this is not important, this video.
Vea su contacto de emergencia.
Documentación y uso de mascarilla. Your documentation and usage of masks. In some states, you gotta identify yourself. If they ask you to identify yourself, it's legal. Citizens that are not required to carry a proof of ID of your citizenship in the United States, but some citizens are now opting to carry it around anyway. So that's not even a suggestion. That's not even a right. That's just someone, they're just saying, oh, hey, You're not required to carry proof of citizenship, but some of our people out there are choosing to, though. Such crazy times. That's not even a directive. You're just like complaining. Las personas adultas, with the adult people with residence cards, like green cards, should carry these documents at all times. Certain states prohibit the usage of masks during a protest. So, I mean, this video is to inform their shock troops, okay? This is really just to inform their shock troops. They're telling them no violence and all that, but it's the opposite of that. Check this out. This is also on the No Kings website. A little bit more prep for us. We could bring up to the people. Let's say we find some Christians in the midst. They're not particularly Mexican. Maybe they're black. Maybe they're white. That doesn't really matter particularly, but just take it in. Look at the faith leaders. Hey, how do y'all feel? Hey, how do y'all feel about the black church being so into supporting evil all the time? And they hate America so much. They hate whites in America so much that, look at them. They're allying. They're allies. Well, I see a bunch of white people here. You know, maybe
if there's
maybe asterisk white. I don't know how Christian these people are.
Can do that
but
would be helpful.
Where was that image? Look, it was this image of the faith leaders.
And you breathe this, and
of course there had to be the black pastors, the black preachers, and women. You see this? It's like, why are y'all so evil? And you guys pretend to be Christian. That's kind of a good one. Kind of trolly, kind of like might irk people, but I'll have the correct spirit because we'll talk it out. We'll talk it out. You know, it's love, maybe. Look, whatever. The sacred tradition of protest. No Kings 2 faith mobilization training. What?
The excitement about faith participation.
Reverend Paul B. Rauschenbusch.
In No Kings, and the recognition of the important role that people of all diverse faith traditions have in this moment.
Reverend Paul B. Rauschenbusch. It's so important, of all diverse traditions.
In this mobilization that we're all taking part of. And so there's an incredible welcome to each one of you, no matter what religious tradition you come
freely.
Oops. Hold on. Then we'll get to calls 844-900-2229.
The knowledge that you need to engage in what for some of you might be the first time you're showing up to a protest. Others of you may be old hands at this, but we wanted to make sure that we had a special opportunity to talk about the special role that faith communities can play and have historically played in American history when people needed to say
the role they play. So if you just join our protest.
Let's connect with
we
that.
We just need people, right? We need bodies to support this angry push, this angry movement, born of anger, right? Hate, blame, victimhood. And how do we legitimize it? Well, look, we bring in the faith leaders, and it's like, oh, look at the important work they're doing, except they're not doing anything that a faith leader does. They're just part of this thing. They've been amalgamized into this thing, and they call it all this stuff. They call it the important work that faith people are doing. The only work they're doing is just being like credibility type thing, just sitting there for credibility to brainwash people, to get people to think this is Christian, that this is what God wants, or anything like that. That's crazy. That's crazy. Why does the entire world deserve to be here? Why? And then of course, I guess this is not ICE protest. This is the No King stuff. But here in LA, it was closely tied. So I think immigration is definitely going to come up. But, again, going back to the initial response to all this, No Kings. It's Trump's mandate one of the most legitimate mandates ever. It couldn't get more legitimate. It's so legitimate. The most legitimate mandate. The most incredible legitimate mandate of all mandates. Okay. So that's it on their website. The power belongs to the people. Yeah, they voted. And they tried taking it away 3 times. And we're still here. So that's it on that. Okay, I think we're kind of set on that. A number of things I have here too. Might kind of add to our prep, to our brainstorm here, to our just general knowledge of the situation. But just hold on for a moment. I'll be right back. Really good? Is this so good that it's not understandable? Or is this bad? Contrived? Oh, come on. Boo! Fast double taps like he's flipping fried chicken. That's not double taps. These are syncopated, my friend. Syncopation. That's not pain. That's not pain you're seeing. Off. Not my tempo. Ghost notes. It's the thing about being the drummer, especially when you're this good, or maybe some disagree. I don't even understand this. It's a terrible relationship you got to deal with. It's the relationship between chops and grooving. You got a deep job as the drummer, as the rhythm here. You got to get people dancing. You got to get people moving and grooving. Okay? This room enjoys it, okay? And that's still on the groovier side of shredding. Okay? But you could get pretty funky with the chops. And you're like, how do I dance to this? Okay, that's a lot of taps. It's a lot of. I don't know how to move. Well, this is so cool, but I don't know how to move. I enjoy it. I'm stank facing. You gotta play in the pocket. I don't think this is a crowd of. I think this is a crowd of autists, maybe. Dotted? That's all dotted. What the? His feet on that 4/4, his hands on the dotted. What's going on? It's like 2 people playing the same drum set. What's going on? By the way, let's check in on the normies.
He wants a male doctor.
Speaking of normies, let's check in on their culture and content.
He says he wants a male doctor. He doesn't want my female hands to touch it.
You mean you want a white doctor?
You just lie there and try not to die. Someone will be here soon to save the master race from extinction.
Come on. Are you kidding?
Okay, you have medical training. How long do you think you have to live if you have internal injuries?
Sir, I need you to move your hands. I just didn't want her to see. I thought she might take offense, you know?
You need the surgery. You will die without the surgery. You may die with the surgery, but your chance of living is greatly increased if you let me operate.
I need to have at least one white doctor in that operating room. So you don't kill me on the table.
Well, Dr. Bailey did save your life today. Black woman saved your life at a great personal cost. So maybe next time you're looking at your tattoo and you're thinking how much better all us white guys are than everyone else, think about that. Because between you and me, if I had been alone in that OR, you'd probably be dead right now. And since we're sharing belief systems, I believe if you were dead, the world would be a better place.
He said...
I'd want a white doctor too. Who said that? Where did I go? I'd want a white doctor too. Cloud. Shut up. Empathy trap. Social engineering. The craziest part is this last guy. The white guy who's like, yeah, I would have killed you. And that's, I don't know, I guess this is wrapping this scene up with a bow. The black woman staying honorable, like, look, it's just a medical thing. I tried telling you better get the surgery. Look, I need a white doctor in there. Make sure you don't kill me. I would have killed you. I'm the white doctor that would have killed you. You're lucky you had that black woman. This came across my way. Okay, we checked in on the normies. They're not okay. They believe in racism. They become quite evil. They become quite radical. They become ridiculously radical. They believe in racism. They believe in blaming others for your problems. That's crazy. Hitler wasn't too much against the blacks, I don't think. That's like conspiracies in the chat. Okay, everybody knows. Everybody knows. I don't know this actually. Hitler hated those black people. Come on. He created racism. It was his invention. He's the inventor, right? Let's see here. In the last bit of the show here. Taking it easy here. You know, this Young Republicans thing has been quite interesting. Those guys who had their texts exposed for saying gas chambers and Hitler, I love Hitler, and watermelon people and stuff like that. It's been quite interesting. I mean, like I said to you before, I mean, it's not that deep. A lot of younger folks talk like that and then think about the crazy things you said. Maybe not what they said, but you said crazy things too. You say crazy things today, even now. Liberal, right wing. They don't really mean it how you think. That's just obvious. They're like young Republicans trying to run like Republican stuff at like school. They want to lower taxes. Okay? They want to like, but they're also like tough on the immigration. Okay? They're younger. They're like, we love America for real. And we know the history. And we're not afraid of saying it was a white country. And that's what they really don't like. That's what some are having problems with, left or right. And so this individual, this Gavin Wax guy, it's looking like, I mean, the story, you know, we were talking about the Political article where this all came out of on Punchy. And the Politico article is essentially saying that it wasn't making it clear that Gavin Wax was the one, this individual, this Republican guy, he's apparently in the administration and all that, or at least was. We'll find that out in a second. Is doing friendly fire to like young guys who were speaking in a private thing. It wasn't clear from the Politico article, but stuff has been coming out. Racist text scandal explodes in the White House as mob boss staffer goes scorched earth with twisted revenge plot. They're adding more to it. It might very well be true. I mean, that's what they're saying here, that it was like a revenge thing from this Gavin Wax guy. The White House has descended into chaos after a top administration official was accused of leaking racist text messages. See, this guy's in the administration. The damaging leak exploded onto the national stage after Politico obtained 2,900 pages showing the top brass at the New York State Young Republican Club calling black people monkeys and praising Adolf Hitler. So the young guys are saying the things you're not allowed to say, the taboo things amongst each other. Sounds like young guys, sounds like what they do. Gavin Wax, a State Department staffer, allegedly orchestrated the takedown of his former colleagues at the conservative club. Senior White House figures urged Wax to retract his leak. But he did anyways, at least according to four unnamed Republican officials familiar with the situation. 3 days later, the same office received a damning screenshot text between a Politico reporter, Jason Bieferman, and Gavin Wax, allegedly showing how he provided names, phone numbers, and backgrounds on the individuals featured in the group chat. But they might have got you, Gavin Wax, red-handed. This guy's a snake. White House did not deny that discussions took place to pressure Wax to kill the Politico story when asked. And look, he's like cozy with Matt Gaetz, all cozy with. Oh, that's his wife. Some of you guys were saying he's a gay Jew. I think he's just one of those. Okay, I think he's just one of those. He's not Jewish. No, that's a joke. That's a joke. I set myself up for that. Okay, he's married here, so I think he's just one of those. Jewish. Okay. Chelsea Wax. She your high school sweetheart there, Wax? Is that her last name? Chelsea Wax. Chelsea Gavin Wax. How about that? Let me see your wife. Sir, I should don't speak like that about a man. Hey, let me see your wife. Aww. Aww. Is that New York? Do you see the green lines? They're towards each other. Okay, he could do a little less. Maybe a lot less. Okay, enough of that. That's so personal. They're kissing and all that. Didn't expect all that. That's his wife, okay? Snakes can get married too. What your wife like? Hey, what your wife like? Those close to Wax are denying he's the culprit, source insisting he's being scapegoated. How did they get it? So somewhat interesting, right? What else did I have saved about it? It was, let me see here. And then we'll get to calls, 844-900-2229. Thank you for that. Someone told me to look into the responses from Ben Shapiro, Dinesh D'Souza, and Mark Levin to these young Republican guys, right, that were found to say all these things. Hold on. I think I had something saved.
Agreeing with the motivations. Again, I'm not even disagreeing with the motivations of the Politico story. In fact, even on my show today, I talked about the motivations of the Politico story, which, Matt, I agree, are completely scurrilous and designed to distract from the sort of violent rhetoric we've seen from the left. But it has led to, I think, a reactionary response on some parts of the right to say there should be no policing ever at all. No social consequences should ever attend to things that are said on the right. That it's basically just pure my side versus your side. The problem I have is number one, I think that's immoral, and number two, I don't think that's pragmatic. I don't think that's moral because I think that there are things that get said on the right that are really, really, really ugly, and pretending those away doesn't make them go away. I think that they're rising. I think that they're getting more common. I know that my death threats from that side are getting more common. I know I have more security because of that, and it's not just from the left. I have lots of security from the left, and I also get lots of security from the right. Matt, I think a little bit earlier today you tweeted that kind of your litmus test is the people who are trying to kill you, and I totally get that. I also have that litmus test. The difference is that I think that if somebody tries to kill you, Matt, there's a good shot that it's going to be a leftist. If somebody tries to kill me, it's a frickin' Agatha Christie novel. I just don't know which direction the bullet is coming from at this point, given the sort of various and sundry radical extremes that exist. I'm not going to say that the right is equivalent to the left in this respect, because I don't think it's been...
Who's Agatha Christie? Is it like a mystery novel? I think I can glean that enough. Having an autism moment, hold on. Is he saying, oh, it'd be a huge mystery because it could be left or right? I think that's what he's saying. I'm looking it up. Agatha Christie. Oh, detective novels. Okay.
Stream to nearly the same effect on the right that it has been on the left, but to pretend that it has not infiltrated a lot of very important spaces, I think is sort of whistling past the graveyard. Again,
okay, I don't know. I'm not familiar with the conversation they were having before this clip, but I gotta say, like, what I'd like to ask him is, you know, and they're not necessarily wrong about some of those things. I've said it on my show all the time about anger. You hear Jesse. I believe in that too. Like, the world's an angry place. You're not just like a good guy because you call yourself a Christian or a Republican. But what about this situation, Ben? What does that have to do with this situation? Do you believe those young Republicans should be ostracized? Do you believe they mean to kill Jews and gas Jews? Do you, like, honestly, Ben Shapiro, what do you really believe about those young Republicans? Because that's what's the point here. Not like, okay, but we should, because if we follow his thinking to a logical conclusion, he's basically just saying, yeah, but people should be punished for, you know, bad speech, hate speech sometimes. There is hate speech. There is bad hate speech and punishable speech. Look, if the speech is a crime, inciting violence, those things, the things that are delineated as crimes already and all that, obviously we agree on that. But if we follow what he's saying there is hate speech sometimes. And it's coming from the right, and it's going against Jews. But the right has been saying stuff about, like, I don't know. I get the impression that all sides have been saying stuff about people for years. And so, you know, it's picking and choosing hate speech, in my opinion. I think he's not. It makes sense. His position makes sense in a sense. Like, it's an honest position. If it is at all what I'm gathering, like a protective of Jews position, like, why wouldn't you be? You know, if you see yourself as Jewish and all these things. So no real comment on that. That's just like a reasonable thing. That's just a rational position. But you got to also take in the, like, maybe other points he's making. Like, do you really think the right? I'm going to stop myself there because I believe there's anger in the right wing. But it's just.
Right, Matt, I think a little bit earlier today you tweeted that kind of your litmus test is the people.
You know, what else can I say about this?
Moral, and number two, I don't think that's pragmatic. I don't think that's moral because I think.
What about this situation? Okay, talking about being moral and pragmatic, and, you know, sometimes people can say things that are too far, and that they should have some punishment. He kind of alluded to, like, a social punishment that already exists. People already, even if whatever the law says, people are people, and it's like you say something that's socially not acceptable, and then you lose something over that. Like, that's already a system and something in place, in a sense, right? That's how we order each other, you know. So then, in that case, then that would be like a conservative, almost like Shapiro, clean conservative position of, like, you know, you're allowed to say what you like, and you might incur your penalties from it, but it shouldn't be from the government, and it shouldn't be infringing your free speech. It should just be like social, cultural. So, you know, it's just why, you know, I'm not trying to nitpick too. I'll be like, in these moments, let's be real. You're saying that out of, like, a concern, well, I'm taking this in live too, folks. I understand. You can make a comment about, I'm concerned about anger in whatever side. You're allowed to make such a comment. You know, it's just, what about these young Republicans? Do you think they want to kill you, Ben Shapiro? Do you think these young Republicans want to kill you? That's the question here. in my opinion. Obviously, I don't think that's the answer, and I've said this the other day, and only because of the climate that I even have to. It's like, obviously, if any of those Republicans really meant to gas people, then obviously we're not into that, not cool, and not about that. And that's even that comment is just to kind of totally express how I'm thinking about all this. So, anyways, they're mad about this one. This guy did not condemn the young Republicans hard enough.
A trend of, I think, let's just say, let's be gracious and say, in the era of Trump, maybe it's a reaction to Trump. I'm open to those discussions. But there is a justification for political violence. It shows up in every poll, and it's coming from progressives.
I have spent all of my formative years watching the President of the United States talk about the opposition party like they shouldn't exist. His claim to fame in U.S. politics was saying that Obama wasn't born in America. That is how he entered the political stage. He was famous before that, but that was his claim to fame.
Isn't that just a fact? What's wrong with facts? We don't like facts.
He was the first presidential candidate to ever chant "lock her up" on a political stage. He tried to coup our government, and I live in this. Let me finish.
Are they cheering? They're like, yeah, lock her up. They're like, the crowd's not even listening. They're just like, I'm just here for some Republican thing. They hear lock her up. Yeah, lock her up. Woo! Who's this guy? Who's this guy? Lock her up, yeah.
Chicago, Donald Trump over the past 2 months has not only posted an AI video of Obama being arrested, but then after that, he posted an AI image of Chicago being invaded. After that, he sent the National Guard to Chicago. So I've spent my formative years watching the president do this. And just think about this. We saw these Nazis.
He's like naming awesome things. He's saying all these awesome things. He's like, I've been watching the president do all these amazing things. And I'm like, what?
Group chats, which I'm sure you condemn, right? This Nazi group chat.
Well, we can talk about it.
Do you condemn it?
I want to talk about it.
Wait, so when they say
he's stalling, it's okay. Let him stall. Let him stall. It could be an obvious stall, but he doesn't. I'd rather him stall and bumble around than say. That'll be. He's trying not to say yes. He's trying not to say yes. I denounced that, and you know what? I think he's fine to bumble around that.
Gas chambers.
Disavow.
When they say gas chambers, you won't. So you're like JD Vance. You just won't condemn this?
Well, I actually had JD on the show today. We had a whole conversation.
You guys can all condemn this, right?
Yes.
Thank you.
Hold on.
All right.
Hold on.
But
Chris, can you condemn that?
Here's the point, of course. But that's easy. What I'm
for him.
Oh, look, is that Cuomo?
This is not constructive.
What's his name?
Right, because what the constructive part is not. This is what's happening here, and I know both of you guys, and I want to bring Joe in on this, and I want to get to the audience. But let's just be clear about.
Is that the other Cuomo?
Path is forward. The comparison of which is worse is killing us. Okay, it's killing everybody, and you are not wrong about.
Anyways, is he doing a little middle of the road thing there, Chris Cuomo? So he didn't denounce it. You denounced gassing chambers, right? It all trying to just lampoon, right? No real conversation. You think those guys want to gas people? Be real. This same guy, by the way, Adam Mockler, the guy on the stage. Check out let's check his social media. If you're an unironic fan of Stephen Miller, you should be taken out back and put down. And he did. That was not in a private group chat. That's what these people think is free speech and fair and just like it's just political speech. Okay, it's just slogans. They're just slogans. You're gonna silence your political opponent. What is this? Russia? What is this? The Soviet Union? Allow me to. I think you should be taken out back and put down. That's how these people think.
Right, because
oh, you said I love Hitler in a group chat. Denounce that. Aren't Christians supposed to love all? You're gonna make me say it? You're gonna make me say it? I love Hitler. I'm a Christian. We got Texas on the air. How you doing? John
hey,
on the air.
From John.
How you doing, sir? Welcome.
No, I'm Texas from John.
Oh, what's up, Texas? Calling in from John. Pleasure, nice to have you on the air.
I'm calling you, man. Thanks for taking my call.
Of course.
I just saw something irksome, and they were praying in Times Square. Guess who was praying?
Muslims.
I'll give you a hint. It was a celebration. It was a celebration of peace.
Oh, yeah.
Between Gaza and Israel.
Oh, a celebration?
But have you heard that, Peter Griffin, you know how he sometimes, I'm going to do an impression. He goes like, wah, like that.
Yeah. Wah.
That's what the prayers sound like to me.
I'm trying to look it up.
Yeah.
Was it New York?
So there's like over 50 something mosques in New York. And,
Yeah, man.
I don't know how to feel about it. I just kind of was irked just to look at it. I
Irksome.
really don't know how to feel about it.
Particularly irksome. I saw
Yeah.
I saw this Mamdani guy who's might be the mayor of New York. This Muslim guy who hates white, who openly says he wants to tax white people. And he says it with a smile. Just a dark person. He was doing some debate or something, and he said to Cuomo, his opponent, he's like, this guy hasn't even entered a single mosque. This guy hasn't, in his whole time or whatever he said, he has I've never seen him go inside a single mosque. Why should a U.S. politician ever have to go inside a single mosque ever? What a travesty.
Yeah, you really like, have a lot of people that are doing like this victimized thing, and that's nothing new.
Totally, man.
Yep. Anyway.
He's a dark person.
And then,
and it's dark, and that religion
and
is like, I brought that up to kind of add to what you're saying here, add to your reporting here a bit, that they say, oh, you didn't ever enter a single mosque. It reveals that they don't want to be these assimilating nice people coming in. They want to take over.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. This is something I'm thinking about. I don't think of them as trying to take over. I don't, but however, I think of the politicians where there's like the new conspiracy is that, and this is not new, I just say new because that's part of the wordplay, but the conspiracy of every person on earth to like pretend not to be blind by identifying with language and ideas. And wait, this is what Jesse talks about.
Yeah,
I'm just saying what Jesse's talking about.
It makes sense to you.
No, not at all. But that's why I say it's the new conspiracy.
Maybe it's a really old one.
But between you and I, and anyone listening, it's the new one.
And tell me it again.
Okay. It's what Jesse talks about, but we have like every person does it where we conspire to not be blind and we need like permission to see for ourselves, to wait and see, But a lot of this is just what Jesse talks about.
I
Just how
remember
I'm.
you called me the other day about it a little bit.
Well, I don't know how I feel, but anyways, I'm about to go. But
Well, you
I don't know
shouldn't
how
feel
I
anyway
feel
about it.
everything. Yeah, I mean, I just saw it and it was just like, wah, wah. And
I kind of hear it now.
and then
I kind of hear it now. Like in the way you just did that, I almost heard the Islamic prayer.
it was more like wah, but there was a song, you know.
Maybe not like that.
Yeah, and I think these people are like, you know, it's all one big conspiracy, so I don't hate them for it.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I don't
You
hate
could
them.
you could speak up and not hate.
Just reminded me of Peter Griffin. It was like irksome.
It's
I'm a white
terribly
guy.
irksome. Yeah, this is
I'm-
totally irksome to white guys. Go on.
That's all I gotta say. I don't have to say anything. I'm a white guy.
Shout out. John, man, thanks.
All right, Nick, I'll do them.
Call me again. It's terribly irksome. And you shouldn't have to be around irksome people. I think that's in the Constitution. I think that's literally in the Constitution. You're like allowed to freely associate. Nick had some hummus for lunch. Right? You know what I'm saying? Wallahi. Pretty flat. Look at this picture. What's up with this horizon here? Who made this? Look at Nick. He's the captain now. Wow, it sounds like Iraq.
It's one of those YouTube videos. We can't say that. It's a big 2-5. This is not a COD lobby, so stop saying that.
Yeah, you're right. Do not put that.
I don't.
I have an actual job. Do not put that in your video, please. But,
I pray for you, man.
so you're gonna put it in the video?
Yo. You gotta be careful with cameras, fellas, young guys.
It's one of those YouTube videos. We can't say that. It's a big
This is one of those F-word A YouTube videos.
videos. We can't say that. It's a big 2-5. This is not a COD lobby, so stop saying that.
Yeah, you're right. Do not put that.
I don't.
I have an actual job. Do not put that in your video, please. But,
I pray for you, man.
so you're gonna put it in the video?
Bro, he did the meme. This guy's literally this meme. It's kind of a funny. But this is also Brother Wars. Is this like why the World Wars happened? Is this kind of like is this kind of like why the World Wars happened? This is white on white crime. This is Brother Wars. This is like jealousy. Let me get ahead. Okay, we're doing it for the clip. Look, you're getting clipped, buddy. You're getting clipped. I'm getting the views. You're losing your scholarship. And then Germany's like, you think? Oh yeah, you think? You think we're going down without a fight? History happens. What the? White on white crime. Damn. It's vicious out here. Folks, it's been plenty of time here. I've spent so much time here already, and let me see here. You do that well, Nit, a little too well. I'm gonna be prepared when they start doing the call to prayers here in LA. No, I disavow that. In fact, I cancel those words, and I invite all of you, chat, to cancel the words along with me, even though you did not utter them. I cancel those words in the name of Jesus Christ. LA will not have the call to prayer. White traitor. I know, Kevin. Folks, I hope you've been enjoying the little Friday stream here. I'm feeling pretty good about tomorrow. Feeling pretty set concerning, what we might talk to people about. As the Spirit leads, the plan is to film tomorrow for some No King stuff. Don't plan on it being live, but I appreciate everybody here who likes and subscribes, clicks the like button, clicks the notification bell in case I do go live and I do stuff like that. Other than that, I feel pretty prepared. I don't really have any more topics for you. I want to get through some of these super chats and all that. All my lovely super chatters who've been supporting the show. BuyMeACoffee.com/anchorbaby. Thank you for the support, somebody. Someone with the coffees. Thank you, Karmic Binding with the super chat says, don't go to the No Kings rally. It's just a bunch of brigands. Just a bunch of hooligans and brigands. A member of a gang that ambushes and robs people in forests and mountains. You know those brigands? Those pesky brigands. Thank you, Karmic Binding. I appreciate that. Walking Roscoe with the super chat says, you're coming in Lima Charlie, Captain. Great show and chill stream, if I do say so myself. Shout out to Cloud Bops, Brother Mark Stafford, and Sweet Amy with the awesome hair. Sweet Amy. Thank you, Spaz Out Hake, Jeep Fontes, Jules, Buddy, and everybody over there on rumble.com/American Anchor Baby, my lovely viewers. The True, Nicole the True, Jim the True, over there on punchy.tv/Anchor Baby. Now, let's see here. What can I say? That's the topics. We definitely spent some time here. I don't know why I'm having trouble ending the stream here. Part of me wants to... there's some things we got to do, folks. Get ready for tomorrow and all that. I got to say, enjoy the rest of your Friday. Enjoy your weekend. I'll be back for more. We got Sunday Church, rebuildingtheman.com/church. More American Anchor Baby on Monday. In the studio, people have been missing the intro and the vibe, okay? Switch, and I've been meaning to switch it up in that way, okay? So we'll bring back the American Anchor Baby intro. Folks, that's it for me. Take care. Enjoy your weekend. See you Sunday. See you Monday. Peace. Don't miss Hake Report. He's got a debate tomorrow. TheHakeReport.com/appearances.